All right. Bit torn on what to do with the colors here because we've got red flags from both. But I guess if the players have gone for these colors, we might as well let them decide. We've got a big quarterfinal here. We have the tournament favorite, Yo. Yo won Sudden Disaster 1, and Yo is Mr. Top 4. He's not always number 1, but he's Mr. Top 4. It's like every event he plays in, he's always there. And so that's why I consider him the favorite, all those factors. But he's up against Hart, who's so freaking solid and has been really impressive. I wasn't actually expecting Hart to sign up. Feels crazy for some players not to sign up for a $10,000 tournament. But I mean, some people, even if they're really talented, they don't think these settings are going to work for them. They will not play because there's plenty of other events for them to sign up for. So Leary's an example of that. Leary, very similar play style to Hart, didn't play, but he's looked really good. He's looked really, really good. So I think Hart has some very good chances. I also think with Hart's draft, he will actually lose some sleep tonight if he doesn't win this. His civs are super strong, and he's playing as the Bohemians. And already, this is Yo's top civ pick. I thought Yo would go for Jurchens today because he's played well with them in this tournament. But this is his number 1 civ. Well, yeah, number 1 civ pick from the civs remaining, I guess. Which to me felt like it was a little high. Their tech tree is solid. They do get bombard cannons. They have good hussars. They have good cav archers. They have some unique things like fire lancers and grenadiers. However, are they as good as Bohemians? This is like a 5th pick on Hart's draft? I don't know, man. 2 TCs. So you have TCs on both sides, which I'm sure you guys have noticed. You have to destroy both TCs to defeat someone. So you can't just snipe one. And more often than not, the area that is important is the middle here. Because this map is very, very lopsided in terms of the gold distribution. The majority of the gold is all here. There's no stone on the top. But there is stone in the corners on the outside. So if players are going to go for a castle drop, and you do see that a lot, that's where they would have to go. Hart has done a better job at managing the double TC so far, so he's up a couple of ills. Does anyone remember the other player that went for Jurchens on this map? You would have probably watched the games. I also think there's a very good chance that Hart didn't watch the games. But it was Barles against Lewis, I believe. And no, not Barley. It was Barles. Autocorrect's coming in clutch there. And Barley, he had a really nice build to try and cut through and go for Trebs. Oh man, Hart's already up Villager, but there's a Crocodile here, and there's the Scout from Yo, and both players were coming this direction, and Hart saves his Villager. That's insane, actually. Very nice save. And the thing that's big about that is he'll probably not lose the Villager because Yo's Scout is going to be attacked. Hart will bring his Scout over wherever it is. Yo is going for a wall off. Yo will also try and do the same on this side. I don't think Hart is actually going to try that. And Hart's Scout, again, will come over. And, wow, the Crocodile actually switched targets, which is hilarious. So Crocodile is actually on Yo now. And hold up. Will Hart have the guts to try and go in there and get the kill? It's probably not worth it. But now his Scout is on the other side, which I guess is kind of awkward for him. But he can do nothing to bring it back. So I could take 0 credit for anything we're about to see today. Well, actually, that's not true. I reserve the right to take 5% credit in the event that Hart does very specific things that we talked about. But Hart's draft has been insane. Hart's insane. He doesn't need my help. However, he did, maybe perhaps jokingly, reach out to me and ask me. He said, T90, what strategies have you, what masterpieces haven't been shown yet? Give me some ideas. And so we had some discussions, okay? But yeah, I really don't think that any of the really specific things need to be attempted because Hart's got so much skill and he's got so many good civilizations here. But Mr. Yo just has this way of he'll draft fully around his playstyle. So even if archers were meta in an event, he doesn't even play archers. He's like, nope. Very rarely does he play archer civs. So I think that's what this Jurchen's pick is for him. Just another example of that. Heart's walled on this side. But he's not walled on this side. That's not that big a deal. I think usually you're seeing players just build their buildings in a bit of a wall this way, so they don't have to go this direction. What I think would be really fun here is, instead of going fast imp in Heart's position, maybe you get chemistry and make hand cannons for map control. Actually, you know what? I take that back. The reason I don't think that's good is because by the time chemistry completes and you're making your first hand cannons, your opponent would already have the castle. You need to prevent castles from going up forward on this map. And actually, if anything, if someone's going to castle drop you, that's actually okay for the Bohemians to fight back on, because they can get those fast bombard cannons. Heart is not on stone yet. Economies are flying. And not a whole lot else to talk about, except for the fact that Yo is on stone. They hit feudal age at the same second. 1 villager lead for Heart. And he will drop the blacksmith. Also got some hits here on Yo's scout. So Yo's scout is weaker on both sides now. I think the other one's just up here. Heart scout could, in theory, find that, but Heart's just going to look around a little bit, see what Yo is up to. But Heart will also want to know what Yo is up to up here, and this is the most important area. And there's a lot happening, and Yo has followed into... Heart has followed into Yo's base, which means he cannot leave now, right? But he gets a good look. Here the scouts are fighting. Heart will get the kill. That's good. And not easy for Yo to really hide anything right now from Heart. But there's a lot more... You can't make as many educated guesses here, because you have to spend such a high percentage of your time focusing on your economies as well. So it's not... Even just the focus on this scout, for example, isn't what it would normally be, just because he's got this scout and because he's got the eco. But both on the way to Castle Age. Heart has not gone to stone. Heart does not see a barracks. And Heart Scout. Oh, that's really bad for him, actually. Now he loses the scout, and now he's in the dark, and now Yo could potentially go forward. I'm sure, obviously, Heart didn't want to follow in there initially. And now Yo gets to run out here and just see what is Heart doing, if anything. Heart's looking for the stone down here. Hasn't found it yet, which would be a bit annoying. He knows it should be here. But both of his scouts are actually walled behind Yo's walls. Heart, bro, come on, man. Don't look at the edge of the map. Look here. Look here. Like, he's busy. You could always just drop an outpost. Players never want to drop an outpost here because they want the stone for something, but Heart's vills are just... This is my Twitch chat right now. Here's the computer screen. One guy's distracted, looking at his cat or something, and okay, now they're working. Okay. Well, that's frustrating, because now there's a castle up on your face. This is literally the #1 thing you have to try and prevent or do yourself on this map. And there's been no military buildup to try and prevent this. Heart, of course, did expect it to some degree, and he was planning around fast imp. He has found the stone now, and he is up. And he's up with the outside TC. So the plan now for Heart would be a university and chemistry. The plan for Yo is going to be to go imp and trebs. But Yo's not anywhere close to clicking up to imp, and Heart's already clicked up. So part of the strat here from Heart could have been just to bait Yo into this and find a very solid way to just immediately push it back. Yo's economy is going to be good, don't get me wrong, but he needs to use the market to click up here. And it's not there yet, guys. Props to Heart. That imp time is crazy. This is perfect. And a lot of that's because he didn't have the stone until late. Those vills were on something else, right? Now Heart actually buys a castle. And will drop a castle here. Heart's golden. Heart's in an amazing spot. He doesn't even need the bombard cannons. Obviously, he will do it. But he can even make the first treb. And Yo will likely lose his castle. Well played here from Heart. Number 2 Civ pick from Yo, by the way. Number 1 was sniped. He won't get to play it. So this is basically the best civilization that he had. So far, I'm not seeing it. So far, I mean, Hart has had the perfect start to the series. And now he'll drop the Siege Workshop. This will be for a Bombard Cannon, which he can essentially make right away because chemistry is almost completed. Does need to shift a lot of his eco on wood right now. Actually has to stop reseeding farms, which is a little bit weird. He might just buy wood instead. You kind of want some farms for later. Now, Yo's not going to quit. There's no way Yo should tap out of this. Yo's not someone to die easily either. But considering the whole strategy was to win the Fast Imperial Age, and now you have a Treb about to hit you and a Bombard Cannon about to hit you, it doesn't feel great. Also, when I did talk with Hart, basically telling him something he already knows. Again, I can take no credit. But I said, and I've been saying it all freaking month, outpost away, man. You can have no surprises in this. Lewis, who's in the next quarterfinal, has built so many outposts. Sebastian, who's in the next quarterfinal too. It would be a very fun set. Building so many outposts. So critical. Now, Siege Engineer's research is faster and is much cheaper for the Jurchen. Very specific bonus. That villager has a death wish, but somehow survives. She's a beast. So, I think Yo is going to plan on the Barrel strat. He's going to try and cut through the wood line. Yeah, he's getting heavy rocket cart now. Double Siege Workshop. He's going to attempt to cut through here and go for this town center. Obviously, he's going to lose the middle pretty quickly. Scout is actually attacking on this side for Hart. That's about to be a villager kill. That's not bad at all. And another Siege Workshop now. The outpost, for Hart will actually show him that Siege Workshop. This Siege Workshop should tell him it's a rocket cart cut. This could just be Bombard Cannons. Bombard Cannon defense. Oh, look, but he can even see the cut here. Will Hart notice that? Hart still has to respect that there could be some shenanigans behind this castle, like Cav Archers or something. Yo's castle repairs bought him some time here, but the castle will fall. And now Hart can push forward and go immediately for the TC. Does Hart see this? Hart sees it. The outpost has actually been attacked. He's aware. He'll prep a Siege Workshop. He will also prep a castle to protect that town center. He also can see this. So is aware on this side as well. So Hart, again, no surprises. That's so key. Can he push forward while also defending everything at the same time here? Yo does not know that castle's on the way up. The castle timing is perfect from Hart. Just perfect. And he already has a Bombard Cannon on the way. Now, this wood line's going to be cut as well. So if the rocket cart loops around, Hart could actually have some big problems. So he's going to abandon. He's going to go down here for wood. There's an opportunity for Yo to maybe kill this with a couple rocket carts. Hart will be distracted. It's a lot to look at right now. He's defending over here. He's defending over here. But he has a Treb on the way. The Bombard Cannon's out. Rocket cart almost gets the kill. Again, Hart's got a lot to look at right now. But I think if Hart can just plan on a castle in the middle now, he wins the game. Castle in the middle, take all the golds, push this TC, hold over here, which he's already doing. Holds over here, which he's already doing. It's perfect for Hart. Yo fans are not going to be happy right now. Rocket cart down. Hasn't been a lot of kills in this game, but just the positioning and the awareness has been insane from Hart. Again, at this stage, how many TCs are actually going to go down with surprise petards? And I think very few. My prediction is we might only see one of those games over the next 3 days, just because I think that level in these final two quarterfinals is extremely high. Goodbye, Villager. But not only that, once you get into the semis and the finals, that's the real deal at that point. Yo tried to do something crazy, but it feels almost a little too crazy And Hart has not allowed it to have any power. The fast imp defense in the middle was great. The outposting to see Yo on the sides. And now it's just he has to play safe and take it easy, and he wins game number 1. It's also this strat, this Jurchen strat, which is the one that Barles tried. It didn't win the game. I think that's key to remember. Oh, boy. So it was kind of nifty. It was kind of cool, but it didn't win. Oh, God, Hart. Hart builds a gate. The Vils can't escape. Well, at least for now. Actually, they might never be able to escape because Hart can convert the rocket cart. He has redemption. Well, he's not noticing. So his monks will go down. He's going to take that TC. Oh, God. What the? Hello? Yo is... Well, Yo is playing sudden death. And he's trying to kill Hart in whatever ways possible. Yeah, I mean, he knew he was dead, right? He knew he was dead. And he, for the lulz, just decided to click the TC. Well, great start there from Hart. I think from a draft perspective, this is so good. Hart got to use a very late round Civ pick to win against the highest pick that Yo has available. And I think Yo's strategy can work. I think it's very solid. Would be a struggle against a Civ that can make bomber cannons that quickly, and a struggle against a player like Hart with that big of an imp time. That was an insane imp time. Amazing value from Hart the whole way through. 4 OKD. He defended perfectly on both sides. More food, more gold, more stone. And he was imp at 1758. I mean, even the 1930 imp time is not too bad from Yo, but that was sick there from Hart. So let's see what Yo can do on some of these other maps, but not the start he wanted. So game number 2. And Hart has the civilization, which has been insanely dominant. We've seen it banned a lot the last week or two. But the Bengalis, easily one of the best civilizations on this map. Having said that, I think Koreans have some potential. So it's not the worst Civ ever. Typically, it's double castle and then unique unit. And the War Wagon can be tanky, but the issue, as always, is not only do the Bengalis get the Ratha, the Bengalis also get the eco. So it's a fast castle map, which means they're up 4 Vils. That is a guarantee. So yesterday we saw a game with Bengalis and Spanish on this map, and the Conquistadors destroyed the Ratha, but the Bengali player had such a good economy, they were able to just make more Ratha and hold on. I haven't seen it that frequently, though. I think normally you wouldn't want to go Ratha against wagons. You would want to go just monks. But going monks only is actually kind of tricky, because you have to actually build the monasteries, which doesn't seem like a lot, but for 2 monasteries, that's 350 wood. And you can't make the units right away. When you have 2 castles, you can make the units right away. This map has been all about snowballing really, really fast. Gold positions are very nice for both compared to some other gens. This one's a little bit weird. But that's fine. This is fine too. It's on the back-ish side near the castles. And you can actually build walls on this rock terrain, unlike maps like Acropolis. So I think players, once they shoot down this little Gaia wall that's around, they need to build palisade walls towards the TC so they can protect those golds in the back. Aspire says, has anyone ever stolen a neutral castle? Yes. Okay, I'm going to let you guys guess. If you genuinely know, please don't say it. I guess a couple people did. Okay. What pro player do you think didn't collect their own castle and got it stolen? And then it was 3 castles versus 1. All right, we're going to pretend that didn't just get spoiled in chat already. One player, just if you could think of it. One player. Yeah, it was Doubt. Also, to the person who said T90, enjoy your time in my chat before you get banned. That how dare you, mods? Get him. Get him. I'm kidding. He seems like a nice guy. But yeah, it was Doubt. There actually was another one. It was Capwatch as well. So Doubt and Capwatch, 2 of the older pros in our scene, who were both near the top of the game, even in the early 2000s. Now, in Doubt's case, he won the game. Somehow, he barely held on. And in Capwatch's case, so let's say this castle was blue. The opponent made petards from here, an army, and just, like, walked right to the TC and killed him. Doubt probably shouldn't have won his game, but he was up against a 1600 elo player, so might have even been higher than that, so we'll see. Jubadiah says, appreciate the stream, all you goofy goobers. His listening, not watching, because I'm logging on to work at the moment. Makes the workday go a little easier. Happy Friday. Well, hey, happy Friday. Thanks for the tier 2. Thanks for the support, man. So you'll notice Hart feels like his eco is already going to be insane. Why not make it even stronger? He's adding the fish. He has actually checked as well to see if Yo has dropped a dock. But not seeing a dock from Yo should tell him he's got to click up here fast. You can't add too much eco. We have seen people die to the first couple unique units. And when you build up like this, it's risky. I mean, I think there's arguments that you should skip the fish. Because that's more of a long-term investment. You're already going to have the vills. Yo. Wait a second. Yo's built a barracks? Yo is not going for fast castle? Yo is going for archers? This is wild. I have not seen this yet. He's obviously going for archers. Right? He's built the barracks. He's going to gold. He's bringing vills forward. Hart will not expect this. If Hart doesn't get loom, this could be really bad. Yo runs right into the TC. That's not good. Will Hart be aware of this? I see. The thing is, the uptime from Yo is so fast, this could still easily be a super, super fast castle. So there's no indicators. Hart's just going to push deer. But if Hart Scout sees this... Nah, Hart Scout won't see that. There's been a couple games where someone tries what Yo's doing, and sometimes if you hit too fast, it's a bad play. Meaning, like, if you kill this Vill with an archer right now, that gives time for Hart to adapt, his build, get loom, and stay in feudal age a little bit longer. But if you actually start hitting them right when they're on the way to castle age, and they don't have loom, they're completely dead. So you have to resist the urge almost to attack, but I swear, man, if he waits a minute and a half, he kills everything. Still trying to delay Hart, as Hart wants that final Ibex. Hart's not expecting this. Hart losing the scout would be a pretty big deal, obviously. Yo, don't show him. I think Hart saw that. Hart sees it now. I think, I could be wrong, but I think if he waited until Hart was on the way to Castle Age with no loom, he could kill so much more. Now Hart knows it's archers. And now Hart has to think about how he adapts this. Yo, trying to break the meta. Perhaps trying to just break the Bengalis because he thinks the Koreans are so much worse. Now Hart's got loom, though. And now I think you can actually stay. You don't need to rush Castle Age. You can buy a wood for a barracks, drop a tower, play in towards a couple skirms, and just adapt this now. All right, chat. Another quiz for you, though. Do you remember the other game where I said that he hit a little bit too fast with archers? There's another game. It was on Wellsprings. It was the same deal where he hit at this time and allowed the player to get loom. Do you remember the player? I don't know why I'm remembering all these games. Yo. Almost lost the archer. Yeah, it was Bad Koala and Barrels. Yeah, Bad Koala and Barrels. Barrels did a similar thing, but his opponent could get loom. If he waited a minute, I think it was game over. Okay, Yo is out of the dock. He's starting to attack the fish now. There's no gold income right now for Hart. Hart has to... I guess he's waiting for Ratha. So, he's sticking to the initial game plan. Will maybe lose his fish. I think that's acceptable. You've had the fish, your opponent did not. Not a good feeling, though. And Yo's dropping a tower. But now Hart just buys a stone to build his own tower. I mean, Heart's fine. Heart's completely fine. He'll have wood, protected. He'll have gold, protected. He has 2 castles to make Ratha. And with Ratha, he dominates the archers and the vills that are around. What? Yo's strats today have just been... Just odd. Just very, very odd. And I had said, like, when he played against Doubt, he was, like, super greedy. Obviously, he got away with it, but that wasn't the best version of Doubt I had seen. Capwatch, he took some real risks that also was able to get by. I mean, even here, Hart doesn't even have to... He doesn't even have to stop this tower. He could just go take this gold and he's fine. I think it's arguable that Hart's throwing a little bit here to do this. But he's bringing the Ratha in, so probably feels like he just doesn't want this tower to be here long term. And I don't mind the logic there. Ratha is ranged in melee mode. He saves most of his vills. Yo's tower, if it does go up, will not stay up. And Yo will lose the vills as well. And yeah, Yo's whole push is just going to get massacred here. He does have a couple units over here Hart has to react to. Nice adaptations here from Hart, though. This is not something he would have been expecting to be up against. And he's weathered the storm. I mean, Yo will fish. But now he's got Ratha running after him. And he will need to play defense with no stone for a tower. If Hart counterattacks now, I think Yo is not really able to do much, man. I don't think Hart will add petards. He could. He could add 5 petards right now with these Ratha and try and go for the TC. I think that he'll just add vills. Using the Ratha to chase down the archers in the north. And he hasn't scouted his opponent yet. Hart, where are we going, bro? I guess he's trying to be sneaky. He's really going the long way around. I would have expected him to go right through the middle. Really being sneaky here. So there he goes. He goes through the middle. He does a lot of damage. He does have his scout out again. He didn't have that moving because it was healing up. Let's see if Yo can hold on. Yo is actually past the Bengalis with resources collected, which is almost impossible sometimes. Now the Ratha are at his wood line. He is already towering the stone, which felt necessary because that's on the front. Hart can use 3 of his Ratha to attack a wall, and he could use another Ratha on ranged mode to hit any villagers that repair behind. Mr. Yo drops a house in the final seconds, but now the Ratha have their ranged mode activated. Just not going to be easy for Yo. Is it something he can maybe hold from? Yes. Not going to be easy. You can't do any counter damage. More Ratha coming forward. The Ratha count's getting insane. And Yo's on the way up. So when he's up, any towers he does have will be guard towers. He can then make war wagons out of his castles. Hey, he walls in the last second again. Nice defense there from Yo. The Rathas are just sitting underneath this tower here, but the TC's close, so Hart will have to run away. Hart hasn't killed a lot of eco this game. And there's still some fishing ships for Yo. He could potentially transport there and take the relics as well. All the blue dots are just buildings. There's not any units from Yo around. Almost looks like Hart has completely forgotten about gold. Like, Hart, you found the stone, you found the berries, you found the wood. Maybe go to his unprotected gold? Hart's just completely forgotten gold as a resource. And he runs underneath the TC. I think if he showed a little bit more patience here, just looked for the gold. Yoda doesn't even have a tower there. Is this doable for Yo? I think it's doable. It's not going to be easy. But he can now play a pretty long game with guard tower defense. And maybe, as I said, get the relics and then play in towards war wagons. Crazy that Yo didn't even have to drop a tower on his gold there. Nice defense on the wood line. Nice defense on the stone. And Castle Age in about 5 seconds. So it is kind of an even game right now, which the Bengali, you never get against the Bengalis. Hart really doesn't want to lose that dock, but he will. He'll bring his Ratha to help out against the fires. We've got Jimmy with 25 gifted subs. Thank you so much, Jimmy. Let's go. Dodge is in chat. Wagons are on the way. I mean, this isn't how I thought we would get here. But this is the conversation that we had in the early stages. War wagons against Ratha. Only now the war wagon player actually has decently healthy eco. Hart was probably kicking himself when he sees that there was no tower on that gold. It's the first time he's seen that gold. But he doesn't have enough to stop this. Yo can drop a tower. Yo can wait for wagons. And also, Yo doesn't care about his fish. He just wanted these 5 relics, and he'll get them. This would be such a big victory, guys, for Yo, because this is the number 1 Civ pick from Hart. So as bad as it felt in the first game, if Yo wins this one now, all that's out of our minds. It's not a big deal that he picked Jurchins first and lost with that. Hart will obviously know the relics are up here. I don't think he knows the transport has happened, though, so that'll be a pretty decent gold income for Yo. Monks are going to be out for Hart. They've already been healing. He's going double monastery now, which feels like a good move. The Ratha are a little bit faster than the wagons, so you can just kind of run away from them right now. Still no Bod Canero for Hart. I don't think Hart believes in the Ratha long term. Feels weird when he has so many. I think he really believes in the monks. I think it needs to be Ratha and monks, truthfully. No farming eco for Yo. Let's not forget that. There are some farms here for Hart. No wood upgrade for Hart, though. Probably needs a new lumber camp there as well, but it's been a very micro-oriented game. But yeah, res collected's even. Yo will drop a university, so maybe he'll be on ballistics faster. And Yo's bringing some vills this way. I don't know why. Oh, she saved? She saved? She saved? She saved. Why is that villager there? You already have the relics. That's weird. That's going to make Hart think that Yo doesn't have the relics. So that's a... I don't know. Maybe there's a reason to send more vills there. Maybe they were just left over and forgotten about and they had to be saved. War wagons are looking pretty chonky right now. War wagons looking like my cat right now. Looking like they need to lose a couple pounds. But they're all forward. And now the Ratha for Hart are looping in near the stone. That's a lot on stone for Yo. And you can only fit so many in the tower. Ratha switched to melee mode. Honestly, too many villagers... Not too many villagers died there. It wasn't horrible for Yo, all things considered. With ballistics being in, the guard towers are pretty strong. Yeah, like, Hart still wants the relics, and they're already taken. He's focusing time and resources there. I think Yo can take this game. I don't know. Jimmy! What is going on, man? Big War Wagon fan or something? Thank you for the 50 gifted. Holy crap, man. Then again, Hart is 10 monks. Hart is a lot of monks. So, as good as the War Wagons are starting to look, War Wagons really do struggle against the monks. And these are Bengali monks, right? So you have monks and the Ratha all working together, then it's a very different fight. Someone says, Jimmy, which crypto should I buy? Someone's going to take the financial advice from a Twitch chatter who's gifting subs. I have actually seen people. I saw someone gift 100 subs once, and then there was a chatter who was like, "Hey, what field should I go into?" Wait, Jimmy, you've never chatted before? So you've gifted 75 subs. Your first time chat in this channel is right now, and you just said lol. What in the world? You're a beast, man. Thank you. Yo wants a castle. Let's not forget this is sudden death, okay? So, if Yo can get a castle here, garrison it with units, make petards, takes down the TC, he wins. So that seems to be the game plan, but Hart, he'd actually had lost a couple of these outposts. He's going to build up more outposts now, so there's no surprises. He actually transports his Ratha here. Very awkward situation for the villagers and the units in the transport. But Hart will find out those relics have been taken. Yo can actually see all the monks there. Does he try and loop around this way for a castle now? I don't know. Hart still doesn't want to give up on water and on the relics. Yo is going over there so he can maintain the control. And, I mean, I just need to know what Yo is going to plan on doing with that stone. Loses the transport ship, which means there's no easy way to protect his relics long term, but that still takes a while. With this many Ratha, this many monks as well, Hart might be thinking about a forward castle, but even then, you see the tower. How can you justify it? If Yo sees that Hart is up here with all of his units, he might send it and go build the castle. Get ready for it. Get ready for it. Vills are already moving. Oh, yeah. Vills are already moving. Yo's going to go for it. Now, Hart is going to have to run home very quickly or build a defensive castle if he sees the Vills. The outpost can save you in this tournament. He should have the vision there. He's trying to take the fight. The war wagons go into the transports so they can't be converted, which is crazy. But Yo, don't get him trapped up here. If you get your wagons trapped up here, you have no army, bro. I don't know if that's good. Can he get back home now? I don't know if that transport can ever come back. Here comes Mr. Yo. Here comes Mr. Yo. There's Hart. Hart sees it. He's dropping his own castle. His monk is standing on the foundation. He has to move. Hart's castle will go up. Hart's castle will definitely go up. Yo's castle, I'm not so sure. And I still don't know if Yo's units can come back. Convert the transport. Convert the transport. Shoot the transport. Bro, this is insane. I guess they're going to make it. There they are. Hart has to convert very, very fast. Castle's on the way up. Castle has to complete for Yo. Castle's at 70%. He's losing so many vills. Hart's losing all of his monks, but I think Hart is winning the fight. Castle's at 85%. Castle is denied. Castle is denied. And Hart wins the engagement in the north as well. I mean, he did lose all of his monks, but his Ratha and some of the conversions he got was enough. I wouldn't hate Hart making siege elephants and petards onto this castle foundation just in case. Because Yo was still going to try and complete this. I think this needs to be taken out. Because if it does complete, it can still shoot your TC and still make petards. Yo's in a desperate situation now. Hart's bringing everything he can home. I think the castle will complete. There is a petard from Hart. There is a siege elephant. So he's kind of doing what we're saying. There's monks to convert the wagons. Castle's at 86%. But that castle, if it completes, it's at 92, 95, 96, and it's denied. Yeah, if it completes, it's not going to stay up, and Hart wins the game. 2-0 up for Hart in the quarterfinals. Very well played, man. Very well played. I think, in the end, Hart stuck to the game plan. Hart stuck to the meta of the map. Go fast castle and get the Ratha out. I think Yo looked at the matchup. In all fairness to Yo, I think he looked at the matchup and just felt like he needed to do something crazy. Honestly, it became an even game. Resources collected, it's even. That never happens against the Megalis. So he accomplished that much. I just think that he didn't need to be in the north. There's a lot of scuffling around the relics. But this was going to come down to, does that castle go up? And I guess, him sending all the wagons in the north was what brought Hart to the north. So maybe there was some logic to that. Yeah. But, yeah, you got to get the castle up. And it's just so good from Hart. I think the outpost saved him. If he didn't have this vision, he would not have reacted in time. He didn't even react immediately, right? We saw these vills. We knew it was coming. but he panicked kind of right here. But that was only because he saw those units coming through. So, I also think you don't necessarily need to play forward castle right now if you're Yo. You have the relics. You can maybe play defensive castle and play towards Imperial Age. But it's sudden disaster. It's sudden death. Who plays towards Imp? Nobody. So that's the counter to that argument. Either way, Hart up 2-0 against the defending sudden disaster champion. And Mr. Yo is going to need to win 3 straight now. Well played from Hart. All right, so game 3. Game number 3. And Yo had many picks on his draft, which felt very standout, which felt very odd, right? Jurchens was one. Koreans was arguably another one. Sicilians and then Teutons were others. So he has come in here with very specific game plans. As Jadith gives 10 more subs. Thank you so much. So many people not getting ads now. So sick. So he goes Sicilians now, which I've never seen played on this map. They've also switched colors, so I guess we'll switch colors too. So Yo is in the blue. I mean, Sicilians make me think fast castle drop. They make me think Donjon and sergeants. Chinese need the fish. There's 30,000 food on the end of this little aqueduct. The reason Chinese are insane here is because they can take all that food and keep that Vil lead they have. In order to get rid of that food, you need to destroy the aqueduct, which can only be done with military or buildings. So, I'm guessing if anyone's going to destroy this, it would be Yo. Because you don't want the Chinese to have it. But I mean, if you destroy it, then you can't have it because it all goes boom. But if it goes boom, then it does open, something up into the opponent's base. And guys, look at the golds for Hart. This is right here, and this is right here. Like, these gold positions are absolutely horrible if the opponent rushes you. Even the gold outside the walls is right here. It's a kind of a crazy position because there's also a neutral stone right between them there. At least Yo's golds are a little bit more to the back. All right, so here's my prediction. I'm trying to think heavily about how Yo will play this. I think he will build a donjon. And he will... I think it's donjon, a sergeant or two, then attack the wall. And then he walks forward and tries to go for more donjons and more sergeants inside the walls. Also, a good point from chat. So someone's saying that when the aqueduct is destroyed, it won't open something into Hart's base. I could see why you say that, but there's actually an explosion which will probably destroy the gate, the stone wall, and 2 more pieces. I forget the range of the explosion. But even if the range of the explosion is 2 tiles, which I think it is, it should also get the gate, which is actually a pretty big hole there. You don't have full vision on the aqueduct, so... Oh, wait, no, you do. Oh, okay, never mind. So you do know, it's like... I don't really know what's around there. I think Hart should fight the urge to YOLO everything onto this fish forever. And really plan around the fish being gone. Which means take your boars, take your berries, build up towards some eventual farms. He's not doing that. He's dropping a second mill now. He's even building houses here. I think if you build the houses too close to the aqueduct, you can also lose your houses. You don't lose your villagers, though. They will get slightly damaged, but it won't, like, kill them. Hart's idle eco is fine. 30 seconds is a little bit above what you would want with Chinese. But the food income's so fast behind it. You don't have food at the start, so you have to walk here, build the mill. You can get better idle TC time if you take the sheep initially, but then you're much slower. It's fine. When I practiced this map, I went for the second mill too, but I actually didn't feel like it added that much efficiency after a while. But he does have 14 vills there. And he'll go to golds. He clicks up to feudal. Okay, Yo is building the donjon now, which you can build in Dark Age. Let's see. Let's let him cook. He's going to gold. He's bringing in a boar, so he's taking food, expecting the fish to be gone soon. Someone in my chat says, official, you are in-game at the moment, in a lobby. I guess there's a fake. Yeah, go tell that fake I'm on to him. Go tell that fake I know who he is. I've made a video on that fake. He's back now. Is it a free-for-all noobs lobby? Is that the one? He likes his 2v2 noobs. Silly thing is some people actually believe it's me. And they're like, man, at T9, you guys kind of rude. All right, Yo's shooting the aqueduct. He's pulled off a fish already. He's bringing vills. He wants to go archers. This will take a little bit of time. I have seen this strategy work before. This all comes down to how set Heart is to adapt to the situation. Kind of similar to the previous game, right? Yeah, it's going to be archer follow-up. So we just have vills in here using the donjon to shoot down the aqueduct. Yo is hoping to have the archer numbers for when this explosion happens. Hard is playing in towards a stable, which could be really good for Yo. If he was playing range, he could make a couple defensive skirms, but he's playing light cav. And it's about to go down, guys. It's about to go down. Hart never took his boar. Hart never took his berries. Hart has saved his sheep. Here comes Hart. Dun 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 dun. Ah! Panic. And now, oh my God, what? No way. No way he just did that. No way he actually just did that. That's insanity. He didn't even know ahead of time. That all happened within 5 seconds. Not even 5 seconds, like half a second. And he re-walls behind it with a diagonal gate in a house. Hart is super locked. This is insane. I can't believe that. That's amazing. Just don't open your gate by mistake. That's amazing. You can go take your sheep now. You can go take your boar. You can go take your berries. Yo's not in now. Like, Yo wanted to instantly rush with fletching and do damage. I mean, guys, that's up there with some of the craziest, like, peak Viper quick walls I've seen. That is one of the craziest, boldest holds ever. Everyone else is just gonna fall back and like freak out and adapt, but he actually thought in the moment he could get away with that, and it worked. He didn't preemptively scout the range. He found out all in the same moment. Unreal. You make a mistake there, you're dead. So, gate's on the way down. I can replay that later. Heart's going to add some more stone walls behind. This is now a fishless game. Taking the berries, planning on farms, all that stuff will be nice. But, like, now, when Heart's in Castle Age, he can make a siege workshop. The crazy thing is, Heart's Scout is still alive as well. He didn't even lose a unit. I can't get over that, man. That's one of the plays of the whole tournament. Forget about the petards. So, that was Yo's strat. Yo's strat was to break down as quickly as possible. And now this game will go on a little bit longer, but he hasn't done any damage to the Chinese. The only positive I'd say for Yo is that he's actually found himself a really nice hill. This gold is not something that Hart can take easily. This gold, this stone, this whole position is really valuable. Hart also doesn't have an insanely strong eco. I don't think there was a hole here, but he's going to place another piece of stone wall just in case. I don't agree that the timing was bad for Yo with the archers, chat. It was solid timing. You're expecting to get through there. Could he have been there like half a second faster? Yeah, sure, but like you're expecting to get through there. You're expecting to get some value. Yo is going to shoot the boar with his archers. So I guess now Hart can't take that. There's some profit. But Hart's going to play light cav and adapt for map control. And will probably feel as though his civ is pretty good from here. He's not even adding a siege workshop because there was no tower built or anything. So he's going to play light cav, monk or two. Yo will see this. The unfortunate thing is the Sicilian eco. In order to have any eco bonuses, you need to have horse collar. But with how aggressive this was, he wasn't even able to get that before his farms. So we have an eco bonusless game right now for Yo until he builds his TC. His TCs do build faster. The light cav's still roaming around looking for relics. Maybe Yo spots that. Maybe Yo will get the kill there. Yo knows it's a monastery opening. He can see this. So he's got some nice vision to work with here. He's got plenty of time. But he wasn't expecting the light cav and the knights. And now Yo's archers are likely going to all get killed. And even here, if Hart blocks, which with the way Hart's playing, I'm expecting, he actually saves the light cav as well. So that light cav can go home. All the archers die. Light cav gets healed up. Yo's scout now could get trapped as well. And Hart's chilling. He's chilling. Oh, wait. Did I say build extra TC? Yeah. True. So you can't build the second TC. I forgot what setting we're playing. Then why are we picking Sicilians? It's a weird pick. I mean, it's a weird... But the pick doesn't matter with the strat. Like, you could play any civ. If you get in there and kill, it could be game over already, so... Hart still hasn't got a relic. But yeah, no second TC available, of course. So Yo is banking up stone maybe for a castle. This relic will be brought in for Hart. Eco's looking super smooth for him right now. You don't oftentimes see him take a boring castle age, but that makes sense. Still chasing down the scout. I mean, I think if Yo wants a forward castle, he needs some army, right? Like maybe make some sergeants. What's the plan here? It feels like his plan is to drop a second TC. Don't tell me that he forgot. Casters are allowed to forget. Those are the rules. I think he was on this stone and he got spotted by the knights, so he has to abandon this. Watch him try and build a second TC with his Berryvilles. He had 275 wood. Now he doesn't. And, well... Now he's going light cav from... Huh? From a side stable. What the... Well, okay, these were the vills that were on stone, and I assume they ran into his base, but I guess he didn't have time for that. So, they had to get creative. And okay, now he's making sergeants. I mean, a couple sergeants in here could be decent. Yo's gonna masterpiece him? Yo's like, I saw your quick wall. I'm gonna show you what I can do. Well, that's relatable. Yo's out here for the relatable content, not for the plays. Meanwhile, Hart's like, I don't want anyone to be able to relate to me. Yikes. That villager, I think, was supposed to go the other way and pathed weird. Meanwhile, Hart's got 2 relics. Yo's villagers are just chilling. Yo is just not able to keep up, guys. Not able to keep up. And everything he's tried has been really, like, kind of next level masterpiece if it works. But Hart has just swatted it away. No problem here today. He's locked in, man. I really felt like the winner of this series would be the favorite to win the finals. Just because Yo won the previous sudden disaster, and of course Hart's so good. 3-0ing Yo is a statement. Nice job there from Yo to at least snipe a monk. It is already 3 relics, though, for Hart. And Hart outposting the map so there's no big surprises. And Hart also on stone, building up towards a castle. When's the next set? So the next set would be pretty much after this. I'm hoping that Yo can figure something out. Hart is playing pretty near perfect right now, but... Hey, this is smart from Yo to go to the stones. So he could maybe find a villager pick there. Hart will send the knights over and should be able to defend most of the vills, though. Someone says, man, Yo is so hit or miss. I mean, saying Yo is hit or miss when he's top 4 in pretty much every single tournament he plays in is maybe a little harsh. But, you know, it's I think with Yo's style, sometimes it looks insane, and you're like, man, he makes it look so easy. And then other times you're like, yeah, that's why you don't do that. I think Yo's biggest struggle is against super meta players, and Hart is maybe the definition of that. And maybe he tried to get a little too crazy because of knowing how difficult the matchup could be skill-wise, right? Hart pretty much models his game plans. He's a very similar player to Hera, right? But obviously, he didn't play this tournament. Would have been fun to see him give it a shot, but Hart's like, no better opportunity for me then to win this whole thing, and he drops the castle on the front, and his resources are looking good for Imp. There's a monk here from Yo to hopefully get a conversion, but if this castle goes up, that is directly next to Yo's base, and then trebuchets can come out to take down the TC. No way for any attacks into Hart's eco right now. Hart's being a little casual. I would always prefer you build the castle with all your vills first instead of the siege workshop, just in case. But there is no just in case here. He's quick walls. No concern whatsoever. And he might actually be able to save this monk. That would have been close. The castle is up now. All right, Yo. I don't know what you do. I genuinely don't know what you do. But it has to be getting into Hart's base somehow. How do you do that when Hart has outposts everywhere and when Hart has light cap for your monks and Hart sees everything? I just don't know. Hart has just played perfect. Guys, I can't wait to rewatch that quick wall. Like, that quick wall was ridiculous. It's insane. And Yo, he's going to make a mangonel for behind the walls. He's adding fortifications here so he's not killed off. He still doesn't have enough stone for a castle. He could maybe buy it, but you need to fight for the position to build the castle. And when there's knights and light cav and monks everywhere, you can't even do that. You just can't win. Hart's not giving him any opportunities. I can't even be wildly creative and think of a single way. You're not getting a castle down without being spotted. I guess you got to loop this way. Whoop! You got to go that way and like castle over here. So yeah, that's the only way you can do it. But you have to that castle has to be going up now, probably. Well, Hart knows he's got the lead and will take no risks from here. And we'll pretty soon be on trebuchets. And a trebuchet can sit underneath the castle and range Yo's TC. We might see Yo tap out in 5 seconds, guys. Which is not fun in sudden death. You want to see a TC go down, but like, this is bad. Yeah, he does. Damn, dude. Hart just absolutely stomps Mr. Yo. You rarely see that. Well played to Hart. And if he can make Yo look this foolish at times and make it look this easy against Yo, maybe he is the favorite for the whole thing now. Well played. I need to go back, though. I mean, so this strategy of taking down the aqueduct and archer rushing, the beauty of it is you can kind of do it with really weak civs. So you can question the Sicilians, but the idea of the strat is if you catch them off guard, you win. And so with that in mind, it could have been pretty sick. But let's just go back and watch this situation again. It was such a quick reaction. You have no heads up. You don't know. You can maybe guess that the opponent's doing it, but he didn't even scout the archery range. So he has no clue this aqueduct is going down. I want to watch this in real time again and just show you how it all played out from Hart's perspective. He doesn't know. He doesn't know. He doesn't know. Boom. He knows. And he runs forward immediately. And it has to be perfect. And it is. Like, dude, if Yo gets a block with a scout there, archers through, spears there, fletching's in. That's crazy that his instinct, upon seeing that massive explosion, which is not normal by any means, was to run towards the opening to stop this from coming through. That's crazy. Yeah, and then it's like, then the rush is dead. Now, if that doesn't happen, What happens is he backs up. He has to drop a tower on his gold. He has to panic walls here. You know, the stable investment isn't good because his eco falls apart. Like, the whole game changes. So, yeah, well played. And also, it felt like Hart did buy himself some time with the scout control there, too. Like, the scout and the way he moved to that scout in that moment was epic to give himself a couple seconds. So, that's just so good. Maybe these houses from Hart was part of that. I'll have to ask him. But it felt like he placed a couple houses there expecting for that to happen. So, I'm sure that was in some ways in his mind. And maybe that's it. Maybe that's in his mind. He knows what Sicilians are going to try. And so, because he had already preemptively thought about it, he could think about how the gate needed to be placed. He could think about how, like, roughly speaking, where he needed to react. And that's why he just instantly ran forward there. That was so good. I'm going to message Hart. Maybe he gives us a response here. But, damn, dude. That's impressive. So, we want a close set, but sometimes you just have to take your hat off. I'm going to say question. Was it always the plan to attempt a quick gate and a house there to stop archers? Or was it full adaptation in 2 seconds? We got a response from Hart. He said, 11. It scared the shit out of me, but I had already thought about what to do in case someone does it to me. He says, I also thought about doing it myself, so I guess I just knew what response to it would be best by the opponent. Okay, good information. Now we'll be back.